Hello and welcome to this month's Tasty Tips. In each Tasty Tips video, I share evidence-based information or delicious recipes to help you make informed decisions, eat balanced, and feel your best. My name is Rachel, and I am a registered dietitian and certified diabetes educator at the Northampton Community Health Center Diabetes Education Program. As many of you may not already be aware, March is actually Nutrition Month. So for today's Tasty Tips video, I plan to go through a new to me recipe that I've never done before. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I want to encourage you to try a new nutritious recipe. For many people, cooking is a very intimidating and daunting task, and that fact discourages them from spending time in the kitchen. So when you do have the time to set aside to try something new, no matter how much time you have, try to make it a very simple recipe. And remember that cooking is not a science. A lot of people use that terminology when they describe baking, and that even makes that process even a bit more scary and intimidating. But cooking really is more of an art form, and I encourage you to try being creative with it, adding your own flair, changing up ingredients and recipes if you don't like something, and really just make it your own. At the end of the day, if it doesn't turn out exactly the way you like, that means you learn more for the next time and you can alter things to your tastes. Or, when we talk about it being an art form, we go back to the drawing board.
Now, onto the recipe. The recipe I decided to make was this garlic tomato chickpea recipe that I found on the Dietitians of Canada Nutrition Month recipe ebook. And following along with the recipe, I had to put a lot of the ingredients in a food processor or blender. So I added the garlic, onion, jalapeno, and ginger, and I pulsed that up to start. Then I scraped the edges and added about 1 tablespoon of water before pureeing until fairly smooth. If you don't have a food processor or blender, after completing this recipe, I do think you could chop everything finely or just use a grater, and you would have similar results from a taste perspective. Next, I'm just heating some oil over medium heat. I did substitute the canola oil for avocado oil because that's what I had in the house. I did cook this mixture for 3 minutes like the recipe said. It never really got brown, but my pan started to brown, so I took that as an indication to move on to the next step, which was adding the strained tomatoes and turmeric and then bringing to a simmer. As you can see, my simmer got a little out of hand and started to splatter. So I had to do a bit of wiping up. Then I added the chickpeas, lemon juice, and cayenne pepper. I mixed it to combine, turned the heat to low, and covered for most of the process, but occasionally uncovered to stir while cooking it for about 15 minutes. This recipe was a real winner in my books. If you're not someone who likes heat or you don't have cayenne pepper or a jalapeno on hand, you could certainly do it without those ingredients. I think you could also use 2 teaspoons of dried ginger in place of the fresh. You would lose some depth of flavor, but if you don't have ginger or the turmeric, you could also skip them, and it would still be tasty.
So here are some of the resources I recommend checking out to find a nutritious recipe that you'd like to try. Look down in the comments section where I'll write out these links so you can just copy and paste them to your browser and search there. Thank you for watching. If you have any nutrition-related questions specific to you or your family's health, please call to book a free appointment with a registered dietitian. If you have any diabetes-related questions or concerns, please call the same number to book an appointment with a registered nurse or a registered dietitian with the Diabetes Education Program. Finally, if you have any requests for future videos, please comment them down below.